quotations from the wisdom of ancient Greece that are still relevant today.
There is nothing permanent except change. The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. Quality is not an act, it is a habit. The only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. Wise men speak because they have something to say. Fools because they have to say something. You don't develop courage by being happy in your relationships every day. You develop it by surviving difficult times and challenging adversity. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. It is folly for a man to pray to the gods for that which he has the power to obtain by himself. A house that has a library in it has a soul. Music gives a soul to the universe, wings to the mind, flight to the imagination, and life to everything. Wonder is the beginning of wisdom. We are what we repeatedly do. To find yourself, think for yourself. Happiness depends upon ourselves. No man ever steps in the same river twice. The way to gain a good reputation is to endeavor to be what you desire to appear. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. The greatest wealth is to live content with little. The beginning is the most important part of the work. Good people do not need laws to tell them to act responsibly, while bad people will find a way around the laws. Opinion is the medium between knowledge and ignorance. The price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. Necessity is the mother of invention. Love is a serious mental disease. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself. There are two things a person should never be angry at: what they can help and what they cannot. The heaviest penalty for declining to rule is to be ruled by someone inferior to yourself. Courage is knowing what not to fear. The measure of a man is what he does with power. Those who tell the stories rule society. You can discover more about a person in an hour of play than in a year of conversation. One of the penalties for refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Only the dead have seen the end of war. Knowledge, which is acquired under compulsion, obtains no hold on the mind. He who is not a good servant will not be a good master. The direction in which education starts, a man will determine his future life. No wealth can ever make a bad man at peace with himself. The worst form of injustice is pretended justice. Ignorance, the root and stem of all evil. Human behavior flows from three main sources: desire, emotion, and knowledge. There are three classes of men: lovers of wisdom, lovers of honor, and lovers of gain. The wise man will want to be ever with him who is better than himself. Better a little which is well done than a great deal imperfectly. Character is simply habit long continued. An empty vessel makes the loudest sound, so they that have the least wit are the greatest babblers. All men are by nature equal, made all of the same earth by one workman. The most virtuous are those who content themselves with being virtuous without seeking to appear so. Life must be lived as play. The object of education is to teach us to love what is beautiful. Nothing in the affairs of men is worthy of great anxiety. A good decision is based on knowledge and not on numbers. The greatest mistake in the treatment of diseases is that there are physicians for the body and physicians for the soul, although the two cannot be separated. The soul of man is immortal and imperishable. Every heart sings a song, incomplete, until another heart whispers back. Ideas are the source of all things. The untutored mind does not criticize itself. Death does not concern us, because as long as we exist, death is not here. And when it does come, we no longer exist. Death is not the worst that can happen to men. No evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. It is not so much our friends' help that helps us, as the confidence of their help. The art of living well and the art of dying well are one. Do not spoil what you have by desiring what you have not. He who is not satisfied with a little is satisfied with nothing. Of all the means to ensure happiness throughout the whole life, by far the most important is the acquisition of friends. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. The time when most of you should withdraw into yourself is when you are forced to be in a crowd. Misfortune seldom intrudes upon the wise man. His greatest and highest interests are directed by reason throughout the course of life. The man who says that all events are necessitated has no ground for criticizing the man who says that not all events are necessitated, for according to him, this very argument is necessitated. Nothing is enough for the man to whom enough is too little. If God listened to the prayers of men, all men would quickly have perished, for they are forever praying for evil against one another. Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Man is the measure of all things.